This video will help you set up your school in e-Abo in a time-saving way. Take the time to watch the video all the way through. It will walk you through the process step by step and you'll be up and running with e-Abo in no time. With e-Abo, your attendance lists, multiple tickets and subscriptions are always up to date. You can keep track of appointments and occupancy, create bookings and adjust them individually. With the integrated appointment waiting list, you no longer need to worry about registrations and cancellations. And you always have your class organization and participant data with you. In the first step, you complete your company profile. In the second step, you enter your pricing models. In the third step, you enter your classes and assign one or more tariffs to them. In step number 4, you enter your participants in e-Abo. In the last step, you enter the bookings for your participants. You can adjust all necessary information about your school in the company profile. Upload your company logo. The optimal size is 500 by 500 pixels. We are happy to help you customize your logo. Add your website, company description and phone number. Adjust your company address if necessary. Important, check the correct settings for country, time zone and currency. If you are liable for VAT, you enter the necessary information here. If available, the VAT rate, the company identification number and the tax number. Enter a note in the text field on invoice, for example, the amount received with thanks. Enter your payment information. This information is visible to your participants in the app. No matter what kind of billing you offer, with e-Abo you can organize it. The tariffs and your prices are the basis. They control which classes can be attended with a booking. There are 4 tariff types which can be assigned to classes in combination. The multiple ticket, the most used tariff. The multiple ticket is very flexible. You can map almost all price models, such as 10 entries, annual passes and much more. The multiple ticket defines how many participations can be consumed within a specific time frame at a certain price. The multiple ticket can be used to transfer existing entries to e-Abo. In this example, we capture a multiple ticket to transfer existing entries to e-Abo. You enter the following information in the tariff entry screen. The title, for example, transfer existing multiple ticket to e-Abo. The description, for example, this posting was created to transfer your remaining participations into e-Abo. The multiple ticket is ticked as the tariff type. 0 is entered in the price field because it is a transfer. Default values are entered in the fields maximum number of visits and number of days from booking. These are adjusted individually per participant when the booking is created. In this way, all other multiple tickets such as 10 entries, 5 entries and so on are recorded, of course with the corresponding price and validity. The dynamic tariff. This tariff can be optimally used for classes with fixed terms, for example quarterly classes. The total price per class, that is the price per lesson multiplied by the number of lessons in the class, is automatically calculated and suggested when the booking is created. When entering a running class, the number of remaining entries and their total price are suggested. You enter the following information in the tariff entry screen. The title, for example, quarterly price. The description, for example, the class price is calculated based on the number of lessons according to the price per lesson. The dynamic tariff is selected as the tariff type. In the price field you enter the price per lesson. Important. This tariff can only be used for classes with fixed durations. The subscription contract with automatic renewal. This tariff is suitable if the subscription is to be renewed automatically. The subscription is continually renewed automatically for the same period and under the same conditions that were valid when the booking was made. Important diaresis, a subscription cannot be paused. A subscription is term limited and does not renew when the maximum participations in the subscription period have been used up. A subscription can be cancelled by either party subject to the cancellation period. Subsequent adjustments of the conditions have no influence on existing contracts of subscriptions. You enter the following information in the tariff entry screen. The title, for example, annual subscription, unlimited. The description, for example, information on the tariff. The tariff type subscription contract with automatic renewal is ticked. As a minimum term 365 days are registered. Before that the contract cannot be terminated. As a cancellation period, you define the number of days until which the subscription can be cancelled at the expiry time. In this case, it is 5 days before expiry. In the price field, you enter the amount. In maximum number of entries, the number of entries is recorded. In number of days from booking, you enter the validity from booking. The tariff, valid for a specific period. This tariff is only valid for a specific period. For example, you can create special offers, or even quarterly tariffs. You enter the following information in the tariff entry screen. The title and the description. Valid for a specific period is ticked as the tariff type. The price and the maximum number of entries, as well as the validity period, from when to when the tariff is valid. Enter classes. There are 2 different class types that you can choose from when creating your class. Firstly, classes without participant limitation. Secondly, classes with participant limitation and compulsory cancellation. The difference is that in the case of classes with participant limitation and compulsory cancellation, participants can be signed in directly into a class as present. Participants, in case of a fully booked date, can put themselves on the date waiting list, and according to placement automatically move up when a place becomes free. In case of late cancellation by the participant, the appointment will be charged. An integrated date waiting list can be created per class. Important to know, for all class dates, a list of participants who were present at a class date can be generated. Thus, in case of a request, for example regarding COVID, this information can be provided without much effort. In this example, you see the 4 most frequent class offers. You can assign different class instructors and locations to the individual classes. In the examples, we create the classes with participant limitation. The weekly class. A weekly class always takes place on the same day of the week at the same time. The class has no definite start and end date. In the class entry mask, you enter the following information. Class title and description. Selection of the category, for example yoga. If it is a class with participant limitation, you record this with compulsory cancellation and the maximum number of participants. In the section tariffs, you select the tariffs valid for this class. Since this is not a class with a definite end date, the quarterly price cannot be selected. In the dates section, select the day of the week and the time when the class will take place. In the section absences, you enter the dates per class on which the class will not take place. The class with a fixed start and end date. A class with a fixed start and end date is ideal for a quarterly class, which takes place weekly, on the same day of the week, at the same time during a specific period. Of course, other offers can also be covered. In the class entry mask, you enter the following information. Class title and description. Selection of the category, for example, yoga. If it is a class with participant limitation, you enter this with compulsory cancellation and the maximum number of participants. In the section tariffs, you select the tariffs valid for this class. In the dates section, enter fixed period selected and the start and end dates of the class. Then select the day of the week and the time when the class takes place. In the area absences, you optionally enter absences. The number of class dates is listed in the class dates area. When creating a booking with the quarterly price, the total price of the class is then automatically determined. A class that only takes place on certain dates. In this example, you can see how to create a class that takes place every 2 weeks on a Saturday. In the class entry mask, you enter the following information. Class title and description. Selection of the category, for example, yoga. If it is a class with participant limitation, you enter this with compulsory cancellation and the maximum number of participants. In the section tariffs, you select the tariffs valid for this class. In the area dates, you enter fixed period selected as well as the start and end date of the class. Enter the day of the week and the time when the class takes place. Here you can also select multiple days of the week. Check the box selected dates only. This opens the class dates, and there you select the corresponding dates on which classes take place. The private class. For the private class, you collect minimal information. The day of the week and the time when the private class takes place is determined when you make the booking. In the class entry mask, you enter the following information. Class title and description. Selection of the category, for example, yoga. You can also enter the private class with a cancellation deadline and a maximum number of participants. In the Appointments section, check the Appointment by Arrangement box. There are several ways to enter participants in e-Abo. We distinguish between existing participants, who are initially registered in e-Abo, and participants added during the class. Data protection is particularly important to us, and we have implemented this in accordance with GDPR guidelines. Therefore, your participants are asked to agree to the data exchange with your school. For the start, we recommend registering the participants in the e-Abo web. We explain this procedure in detail. All other possibilities are briefly addressed in the video. You only must enter minimal participant data. As soon as the participant has registered and adjusted his profile, this information is automatically available to you. Record all participants with first and last name and the email address. After entering the participants, you can directly create bookings for them. Optionally, we offer you to upload your participant data in e-Abo. Send us an Excel or CSV file with the columns, first names, surnames and email addresses to support@eabo.com. If you only have an email address, we can upload the data and generally use a placeholder for first name and last name. Important: the participants will then not be addressed with first name and last name in the email. After uploading the participants, you can directly enter bookings for them. Before you send the information of e-Abo to your participants, and thus request the data exchange with you, we recommend informing your participants in advance in a separate email that you are now using e-Abo for your class organization. You can find an example email in the 5-step guide. This is important so that your subscribers are informed that this is a serious email. With one click, you can request data exchange with all your participants. Click on Request Data Exchange with All. Your registered participants will receive an email from e-Abo informing them that they have been registered as participants in your school and can now register in e-Abo. Once students register in e-Abo, they are linked to your school. You will directly receive the customized profile information of your participants, such as an address, phone number and so on. In the column Data Exchange Agreed, you can see which participants have already registered and are linked to you. If bookings have already been made for participants, they can now register directly for class dates. Are you connected with your participants only via WhatsApp group? You can invite your participants to e-Abo with a WhatsApp message. After they have registered and sent you a class request, they are automatically registered with you. The class request is required for data protection reasons, double opt-in. For this purpose, your personal URL code from your company profile is used, which is copied into the WhatsApp message. In the FAQs of e-Abo, you will find a suggestion text for your WhatsApp message. In this message, you simply copy your URL code into the two placeholders. Send the WhatsApp message to your students. The recipients of the WhatsApp message perform the following steps. When they click on your URL, they will be redirected to your landing page, load the app and register in e-Abo. Then they click on the link again and send you a class request. You will receive a push message when a class request has been made. You can then create the booking. To quickly capture a participant, you can use your smartphone or iPad. Enter the first name, last name and email address. The checkbox Invite to e-Abo is automatically set. The participant receives the invitation email, can register and is then immediately linked to your school. You do not need to do anything else. Independently of the registration, you can create a booking for the participant and enter him or her in class dates. Participants without an email address can also be registered. These will then not be invited to e-Abo. In your company profile, you will find your personal QR code. You can place this on your website, flyers and for example in the studio. More info on integrating your QR code on the website can be found on the e-Abo blog. Whether in the studio or on your website, place your QR code with instructions to download the e-Abo app, register and send you a class request. When scanning the QR code, prospects will be directed to your personal landing page with further instructions. New customers are then automatically added to your participant database. The manual entry of the participant is no longer necessary. Bookings for participants can be created in just a few steps, conveniently with the iPad or smartphone. In e-Abo, bookings can be created via various menu items. We will look at 2 ways to transfer existing cards from participants to e-Abo. The participants were recorded manually on the web or via upload. Regardless of whether participants are already registered in e-Abo, existing multiple cards can be transferred to e-Abo. On the e-Abo web you can directly open the e-Abo YouTube channel. In the playlist bookings you can watch the detailed video. To transfer existing multiple cards or subscriptions, the transfer tariff can be individually adjusted. For example, you can adjust the number of participations downwards or upwards or adjust the validity. Participants who have registered via WhatsApp invitation or QR code will send you a class request. On the e-Abo web you can directly open the e-Abo YouTube channel. In the playlist bookings you can watch the detailed video. To transfer existing multiple cards or subscriptions, the transfer tariff can be individually adjusted or a new bookings can be created. For example, you can adjust the number of participations downwards or upwards or adjust the validity. We hope this video has helped you get started with e-Abo. You can find more information in Get Started, Switch to e-Abo, e-Abo videos and the FAQs. Do you have any questions? Then send us an email. Thanks for watching.